Good afternoon, Ghana. It's 12 o'clock. Time to reach for mobile water. Mobile water, unique in every way.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Citi News.
"32 days to the December 7 elections. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Citi Prime News. This is the Election Bureau. We're coming to you live from our studios at number 11, Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka, Accra. My name is Ajwa Tinkramado, and I'm coming up this afternoon.
We think that if you fix the economy, some of these issues are going to fix by themselves. If you look at the public services category, you don't need all of them to be functioning like 24 hours in terms of fiscal presence.
Manifesto promises by leading political parties in Ghana's elections under scrutiny as Imani Africa's manifesto highlights what is possible and what is not. Also coming up in the bulletin, we hit the campaign trail and bring you up to speed with the various campaigns. But today, on our special constituency report, we throw the spotlight on the Adentan constituency.
So we MP na soba na mo homodin a ebesesa because ye pay input juma ye prince obi mla no first commercial botom ye fendidi anasa na emom no bema district no anasa area ha no akonanim.
Meanwhile, is the Central Region really the bellwether in Ghana's presidential elections? We'll bring you trends and analysis of this crucial region ahead of next month's election. Still in the bulletin, battle for the White House as millions of U.S. voters cast their ballots today to decide the country's next president. Later in the bulletin.
Ya wada wa flese ya wada me fa akula ne mra enti eno na me dan ka senti medru fia akula no ho adwenkwa ne umiti me busa na ko ya hwehwe ne sa mu huntemte ya ne se obi a woni se kan.
3 teenage girls in police custody over killing of 16-year-old junior high school graduate. Stay with us for details of these and more stories coming your way in the next 30 minutes. The news is live across the globe on citinewsroom.com. Around the country, you can find us on a number of affiliate stations in the Western region. This is Beach 105.5 FM in Takrade. The Bono region, find us on J Live 95.5 FM in Sunyang. In the Ashanti region, tune in to Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi. Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi. In the Volta region, Revival 99.3 FM in Tajavu. In the Northern region, Radio Bimbila 91.9 FM. In the Upper East region, Tanga 93.7 FM in Bolga. In the Upper West region, this is Tunsong 97.3 FM in Wa and Jarapa 96.1 FM. Please stay for details.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Grateful for your company this afternoon. We begin with some election-related stories, and policy think tank Imani Africa has linked Ghana's current economic challenges to the ruling New Patriotic Party's unmet promises to stabilize the economy. This was outlined during Imani's annual manifesto review, which uses a coding system to evaluate political party manifestos. While speaking at the event, a research associate at Imani Africa, Dennis Asari, noted that addressing key issues such as access to finance, exchange rate stability, and broader macroeconomic constraints will be crucial steps towards economic recovery.
Institute of Statistical and Socio-Economic Research did a sensitivity analysis and look at the challenges that industry faces in Ghana, and the three things that came on top was access to finance, the exchange rate problems, and also macroeconomic constraints. We think that if you fix the economy, some of these issues are going to fix by themselves. If lending rates are low, inflation rate is low, and exchange rate is competitive, some of these sectors are going to fix themselves. And because of these challenges within the space, that is why the special economic zones that we have always set up didn't work. So if you look at the Dawa one on the Tema Flow stretch, it was expected to create over 80,000 jobs, but now it's creating just about 1,000 jobs, and just about a dozen firms are operating there. That is also because the market environment is expensive, and that's the reason why industry is not working.
Well, for the NDC, Money Africa says not all public services in the country must function on 24-hour economy basis, as some, including the DVLA, can function on automation.
Now, these public services are supposed to offer some services that will make sure that businesses are able to thrive. Now, the key interventions that they are proposing is that the NDC promises to implement a raft of tax incentives, but they did not specifically say that these are the tax benefits or the tax incentives that will be channeled directly for the 24-hour economy. Another challenge is that if you look at the public services category, you don't need all of them to be functioning like 24 hours in terms of fiscal presence. By way of automation and leveraging on digitization, some of these services, for example, like the DVLA, if their systems are enhanced, greater portion of their work can be automated, which means that citizens can access it at any point in time. If you look at financial services, because of the mobile money interoperability system, now people can do financial transactions by using their phones and all of that, so they may not have the need to be operating on 24 hours.
You heard Research Associate with Money Africa, Dennis Asare. Now, the central region of Ghana holds a unique and influential role in the country's political landscape, often acting as a bellwether in presidential elections. Now, since the return to multi-party democracy in 1992, the region has consistently supported a winning presidential candidate, making it a key area to watch as election approach. Now, Citi News' Sami Wiafe analyzes the voting trends in the region and the impact on national outcomes.
With 23 constituencies, the central region is a critical swing area in elections, known for its decisive and unpredictable voting behavior. Since 1992, the region has consistently supported the eventual presidential winner, making it a top target for both the MPP and the NDC. A diverse mix of urban, semi-urban, and rural area reflects the broader Ghanaian electorate, drawing intense focus from political parties and their campaigns each election year. In the 2012 election, John Mahama of the NDC won the presidency, as well as the central region playing a crucial role. Mahama defeated his main opponent, Nana Akufo-Addo of the MPP, by some 62,339 votes. The tables turned in 2016 when Nana Akufo-Addo, representing the MPP, claimed victory in the region with a margin of 91,406 votes. This swing was key in Nana Akufo-Addo's overall victory in the national elections. He also won the 2020 election and retained the presidency. As the country prepares for the 2024 election, the central region has once again set to play a critical role. Home to about 3 million people and over 1.7 million registered voters, nearly half of whom are young, youth engagement is expected to be a decisive factor in the result. The NDC, as part of its strategy to convince the people of the region, selected a running mate from the central region and has held several campaigns in the area. The party's regional chairman, Professor Richard Esiedu, says they are poised to recapture the central region.
We in the NDC in the region are working around the clock to secure 7 more parliamentary seats to bring to 20 the number of seats in the NDC to give President John Mahama a resounding victory in the region to enable him continue the good work he began before his sterling leadership and was abruptly truncated in 2016.
On the part of the MPP, the party believes the unprecedented development it has brought to the region has impacted positively on the life of residents. Second Lady and wife of the Vice President, Samira Maumia, who recently embarked on a campaign tour of the region, says the MPP has done enough to win the hearts of the people of the central region.
I just Samira and then Mr. Best one. Not me one. Now so home. Now my friends are there me Mezabwa wenye Juma wenye Sikaza ye Juma.
You heard Samira Baumia ending that report filed by Citi News' Sami Wiafe. Well, let's hit the campaign trail now. An NPP flag bearer, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, has pledged to align his policies strategically to boost the economy. Now, during day 2 of his tour in the Ashanti region, a vital stronghold for the NPP, he visited Ofinso North, Ofinso South, and Efija-Kwabre North constituencies to rally voter support. The party aims to mobilize voters to ensure a strong turnout in the upcoming elections. Let's now go live to Ashanti region and speak with Hansen Adima, who's following the campaign for us. Good afternoon, Hansen. Thank you for joining us. So, Hansen, what else has the Vice President been saying today?
Well, the Vice President basically has been summarizing his policies to stakeholders at Nkin Council, telling them the good news he has for them, what he believes are both solutions to the problems facing Kenyans. He talks about the policies when it comes to agriculture, i.e. the agricultural mechanization program. He talks about policies that will help make life comfortable for people, the credit scoring system. He also talks about the Buy Ghana First policy, which essentially is one that would instruct that if there's a need for government to purchase anything, and there's any producer and there's any producer of such goods in Ghana, then the government ought to buy from that person first. What that means is that then you're helping businesses, local businesses grow, and then with a credit scoring system also, you're giving the ability to Kenyans to be able to purchase goods and services that they require to make their life comfortable.
Right. So 3 constituencies visited today. What more or where else is he going today before he wraps up his tour?
So he's visiting 3 constituencies. We're in the first constituency currently in Ofinso North. And the first town we visited is the Nkin Council. And now we're moving towards Akumadan, which is also in the Ofinso North constituency, where Dr. Bawumia would address party faithfuls. After that, he's going to move to the Ofinso South constituency and then to the Efija-Kwabre South North constituency. And it's important to note that even though the Ashanti region is a stronghold of the NPP, the Ofinso North constituency in the past elections, particularly for the presidential election, have voted 2 times for the ND.
Very well.
And so the NPP is well aware that if they really would have to get their votes in the Ashanti region, they need to work more in a constituency like Ofinso North.
Very well. Thank you so much. That's my colleague Hansen Ajima. He's on the NPP campaign trail. Let's now move to the National Democratic Congress. And its presidential candidate, John Mahama, has accused the current government of attempting to shift the burden of the ongoing power crisis onto a future NDC administration. Mr. Mahama, like his main contender, is in the Oti region, one of the strongholds of the NDC. Speaking in the Kratu West constituency, John Mahama claimed that the government is deliberately withholding a load-shedding timetable to conceal the true extent of the electricity challenges.
If we say Fidie Bakwa, your friend is Sunon Asogli plant. Dum Omo power no because a buying at the Omoka Sika Bebre. Ain't it Dum Sababium? And so way more. Esan say Omonyen no credit for.
We do not have stable power because Sunon Asogli has shut down its plant due to significant unpaid debts owed by the government. As a result, Dumso has returned, and this is because the government is not being truthful with Ghanaians. In our previous administration, we implemented a load-shedding timetable to manage the crisis, but the current government refuses to do so because they fear being blamed for bringing back Dumso.
And so, Ghana for Edesum, who are near Dunkaniano. Someone is saying this in Eba. Na Dumso Omodia Bano, Dumso for Omodia Bay.
However, the reality is that it's already back. They know the NDC is likely to return to power, so they are trying to shift this burden onto us. Additionally, they are planning to pass on an estimated $2 billion debt within the energy sector to the next NDC administration.
January 7th, NDC are buying for bar. I say, hey, and you muso munje. And so, make a check Ghana for me and Papa.
Well, John Mahama also projected that the party will secure a victory in the Greater Accra region by a margin of 300,000 votes in the upcoming December 7 elections.
We want to increase the votes that we get from the Volta region and the OT region. And I'm sure that if we're able to do that, also increase our votes in Greater Accra. Greater Accra, we won it the last time with only 76,000 votes. We need to win it by about 300,000 votes. And we need to widen the gap in Volta region. MPP got about 100,000 votes in Volta region the last time. We got about 800,000. We need to decrease the votes that they get in Volta region. I don't think MPP can get 300,000 in Volta region.
John Mahama is the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress. Well, he is expected to wrap up his tour of the OT region, while his running mate, Professor Nana Jino-Pokwajima, will begin a 2-day campaign tour of the Volta region today. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News. When we return, we throw the spotlight on the Adentan constituency and also take you to the Ashanti region where 3 teenage girls are in police custody. For what? We'll tell you. Stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Channel 1 TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on Channel 363. On GoTV, we're on Channel 117. And on HD+, get us on Channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search. But take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Channel 1 TV. Channel 1 TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box, like the DSTV and HD+ boxes. Channel 1 TV, telling your story, empowering change.
Ago Omambapa, the time to exercise your civic duty is here again. This year, we the good people of Ghana have another opportunity to elect our leaders on December 7. This is a very important national exercise and you have the civic duty to make that decision for Ghana. Don't be indifferent because your vote counts. Vote on issues. Don't sell your vote. Reject violent candidates and expose acts that undermine the integrity of the elections. Don't attempt to snatch a ballot box or deface political party posters. The law will deal with you. December 7, 2024 is election day. Pick up your voter's ID card. Get to your polling station. Follow the voting process. Make that bold decision for Ghana. Vote peacefully. Ghana must win. Vote on December 7. It's your civic duty.
Civic duty required of you as a Ghanaian. So get involved and vote.
A message from the National Commission for Civic Education, NCCE.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Welcome back to the bulletin. Let's stay on election-related stories. And as the December 7 polls approach, Adentan constituency voters are gearing up to decide between a fresh face and a familiar contender. With the question lingering, will this year mark a departure from the constituency's one-term tradition, or will history repeat itself? Citi News' Beverly London reports.
Since its creation in 2004, the Adentan constituency has been known for giving its members of parliament only a 4-year term to serve as their representative. The cycle began with the election of the late Kojo Opare Hammond of the New Patriotic Party in 2004. However, in the 2008 elections, when the late MP sought a second term, he lost to the National Democratic Congress's candidate, Kojo Edu Asare. In 2012, the NDC managed to retain the seat, but with a new candidate, Emmanuel Ni Ashimo, who reinforced Adentan's distinct pattern of one-term MPs. During the 2016 elections, both the NPP and the NDC introduced fresh candidates. Mohamed Ademu Ramadan of the NDC contested against Yao Boabeng Asamoah, then of the NPP. Boabeng Asamoah won, shifting the seats back to the NPP, yet maintaining the trend of one-term MPs. In the 2020 elections, the tables turned as Yao Boabean Samoa faced a familiar opponent. Mohamed Ramadan emerged victorious with 55.89% of the total vote. Just ahead of the December 7 polls, many are asking, will Adanta's one-term tradition continue or will it finally be broken? Let's hear from voters about why they have consistently voted this way.
If you are elected as an MP but fail to perform, we will vote you out. We are not asking MPs to feed us every day, but we do expect improvement in the area.
MPs need to have the performance.
Some MPs perform well and could have been given a second chance, but constituents sometimes decide against it if the MP doesn't do a thank you tour. On the other hand, some MPs perform poorly, which leads to them being voted out.
Every 4 years,
This will be the third time Mohamed Adamu Ramadan will be contesting the Adentan seat, having won it on a second attempt. Now the question is, will he be the MP to break the 4-year tenure cycle, and how does he intend to do that?
No member of parliament campaigns in isolation. You campaign on the strength of your political party and the message of your political party. So essentially, I'm campaigning on the basis of my party's manifesto, where we intend to help the youth, to give them jobs, to improve our economy, and then also asking our people in Adenta to retain our MP, so we give the constituency an opportunity to grow. I mean, Adenta since 2004, we've always had one-term members of parliament, and it's an institution where, to a large extent, experience counts a lot. So, because all our MPs are first-timers, all our MPs are backbenchers. So it's one of my messages where I appeal to the people that let's give our constituency an opportunity to grow. And I'm sure the longer you stay in parliament, the better it is for the constituency, and the more the opportunities you get for your constituency. So it's one of the things I'm campaigning on.
PP, on the other hand, is presenting a new candidate to challenge the incumbent member of parliament. What are Akosia's main chances of beating the MP, and what are her plans? Let's find out.
We change every 4 years when we don't see what we want to see. And it's not for me to actually come and promise. I'm actually doing the work.
Gutter constructions, as you can see, road construction also. The major road project I was telling you about at the start, when we started, at a certain stretch, there were no gutters. Without gutters, the roads won't last, so we came at an extra cost to do the gutters. Here was the market women have supported the soft loans that they are making use of.
I always say it's because you are vying for the office, that's why you are doing all of these things. Why didn't you do all of these things, before now? What do you say to them?
No, you see, sometimes you need to have, beyond the little things you do. I was doing my own stuff within the constituency, and I felt that, I can actually lead. I want to lead. How do I show I can lead? I'm responding to your needs. If it impacts your life and you feel I deserve your votes, absolutely. And when I'm voted in, this is but a tip of the iceberg as far as what they should expect is concerned, when my focus is on the real needs of the constituency.
NPP parliamentary candidate for Adentan, ending that report filed by my colleague Beverly in London. A stay on elections. The chairman of the National Peace Council, Reverend Dr. Ernest Edujemfi, has urged Ghanaians to reject actions or rhetorics that threaten peace, whether in political discussions, social media, or campaign activities, as the nation approaches the 2024 elections. Speaking at the Stakeholders Forum to promote peaceful 2024 general elections, Dr. Edujemfi stressed the importance of non-violence in conflict resolution.
As we approach the 2024 elections, I would like to take this opportunity to call on all Ghanaians to reject any actions or rhetoric that threatens our peace. Whether we are engaging in political discussions on social media, conversations with friends and family, or participating in campaign activities, we must conduct ourselves with the utmost respect for one another. Our words and actions have the power to either promote peace or incite conflict. Let us choose peace. Let us encourage the values of tolerance, love for our neighbors, transparency, and accountability. These virtues are essential in building the trust we need to ensure a peaceful election.
You heard the chairman of the National Peace Council, Reverend Dr. Ernest Edu Jemfi. Now, as part of efforts to provide data-driven reporting and deliver accurate information, Citi FM and Channel 1 Television have launched a dedicated website for our election coverage. The website, elections.citinewsroom.com, aims to provide data on past elections and keep the public informed about this year's election activities. General Manager of Channel 1 TV and Citi FM, Bernard Avle, has more details.
So we've made sure that we've built the most comprehensive election database in the country. So if you go to citinewsroom.com/elections, you have everything you need. So this is just a cursory look. We have elections from the latest 2020 all the way back to 1996. We're adding 92 later on. There's a map feature, there's a news feature, and then the election results feature. We also have presidential and parliamentary election results for all 275 constituencies and relevant constituency numbers for previous elections. And we have granular data all the way to constituency level. So anything you want to know about any election in Ghana from the first election till now is there.
Bernard Avle is General Manager of Citi FM and Channel 1 TV. Well, as you know, Ghana is not the only country having elections this year. The U.S. also. Today, millions of U.S. voters are voting to determine whether Vice President Kamala Harris or former President Donald Trump will lead the nation. Now, both candidates require at least 270 electoral votes to ensure victory, with 7 battleground states, including Pennsylvania, Michigan and Nevada playing crucial roles in the election outcome. As polls indicate a tight race, both candidates campaigned vigorously on Monday, expressing confidence in their respective chances for this year's election. Let's now go live to the U.S. and speak with senior White House correspondent at Voice of America, Steve Herman. Good afternoon, Steve. Thank you for joining us. Now, how is the voting unfolding today?
Well, the polls have just opened on the east coast of the United States, with the exception of one tiny little village in the state of New Hampshire, which voted at midnight. And I can tell you the results there, which are the only results we have from the election so far, was Donald Trump 3 votes and Kamala Harris 3 votes. So it's officially a tie at this point, and that pretty much reflects what we've been seeing in the national polling for many, many weeks, that this is going to be an extremely close election.
Security-wise, what can you tell us? How are security tightening up for today's elections?
Well, after what happened 4 years ago, a lot of the polling stations have put in some security measures. In the state of Arizona, Maricopa County, which is one of the largest in the country, they put in double rings of fencing, undercover police inside and outside, as well as SWAT teams on the roof. As you may remember, there were protesters carrying weapons outside of the Maricopa County elections headquarters 4 years ago. But what we're seeing here in Georgia, I'm in Gwinnett County, which is a very ethnically diverse county. And we were at the Elections Commission on Monday looking at their procedures. We didn't see very much security, but a lot of what I would say is transparency.
Right.
That election official observers and the media will be able to very clearly see what is going on through the whole process.
Very well. Thank you, Steve Herman, a senior White House correspondent at Voice of America. Steve will come to you in further bulletins for details. But now let's move away to one of our headline stories. 3 teenage girls are in police custody following the alleged murder of 16-year-old Dennis Osuansa, a recent BC graduate who was set to begin school on Thursday. Eyewitness reports indicate that the incident occurred during a misunderstanding when the girls were escorting a friend home. His mother of the deceased expressing shock over the tragedy and calling for justice.
He gained admission as a day student at Jache Pamsu Senior High School. I told him I would not get over 50 cedis a day for him to be going to school, so a family relative helped us to gain admission at Trinebua Kodia Senior High. On Saturday, I went to the school together with my child to do the necessary preparations. I went out to sell yesterday when I received a call for him to start school on Thursday. On my return from the market, I started looking for him, all to no avail, only to find out that he's been stabbed. I'm only pleading for the law to take its course against the perpetrators.
You heard mother of a 16-year-old boy, Dennis Owuswansa, who was allegedly killed by his friends. And that's it for today's bulletin on the Citi Prime News. And we'd want you to follow us with the hashtag CitiVerify, hashtag GhanaPost2024, and hashtag Election Bureau for all your election-related stories. My name is Ajuatin Kramadomna. Log on also to citynewsroom.com for more stories and elections.citynewsroom.com for exclusive election stories. Thank you for your company. Good afternoon.
City News. We speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302 224959.